Good morning, Facebook Live, Monday morning motivation. Norman Hartman here. I'm glad to start the day with you. Give just a few moments for people to get on. I know I put out last night around 8 o'clock, just before 8 o'clock, that I would be here at 6 a.m. Perhaps some of you may be joining me. If not, you can join me later. Of course, I'm going to be uploading these videos. Having a lot of fun doing this. Had a lot of fun this morning. Some activity in my home with my wife and my children. So I'm excited to get the day rolling as well. I was almost hands-free this morning. Have a device thanks to Dana Grant, my wonderful sister-in-law, who's helping me out with some pieces. Good morning, Marche. Hopefully you guys made it in safely last night from Columbus back home. Just getting ready to start this morning. So in interest of time, for those that may be watching this a little bit late, I'm going to go ahead and get started. So we've been talking about motivation on Monday mornings. Just to kind of go back to the beginning, people talk about thank God it's Friday, right? That's the catchphrase. But my thought process is, what can we do to move forward in Monday morning in the same happiness and the same attitude that we do on Friday evenings, right? The same attitude that we have on our weekends. It's not a pipe dream. It's very possible. As a matter of fact, I'm doing it myself. I find ways to still stay excited about what I do at work during the weekend. So I just want to encourage you guys with a few things, but a few questions first. Before we get into the post that I made last night about why I take cold showers, right? So based on the first two meetings that we've had, rhetorical questions. Have you taken time for yourself to identify what your purpose is? Have you taken time for yourself to identify what your purpose is? Have you sat in a room by yourself? Have you sat in the car by yourself to take time to do that? Second question, have you found what areas you are passionate about? Have you found the areas of your passion? Have you taken the time to find out what things that you're passionate about? And no, I'm not talking about Friday. I'm not talking about the weekend. I'm talking about actual things, actual purposeful things that you're excited about. The other thing, have you gone out and purchased your two tools? Have you gone out and purchased your journal, your visionary journal, that allows you to pen your vision? Okay? Have you gone out and purchased a journal so that you can write down whatever your vision, whatever your goal or dream is? If it's to, be a star, if it's to be a millionaire, if it's to become president or CEO, have you penned that down? Have you bought that journal so you can pen those things down? Last question. Have you gone out and purchased a planner so that you can put forth the daily grassroots efforts, so that you can go through the mechanics of what's necessary to reach your goals and your dreams and your visions, right? They're not going to happen on their own, but we got to put forth some serious planning, some serious effort. I'm going to change my lighting here. We got to put forth some serious effort in order to make that happen. Okay? So these are some questions that you need to ask for yourself. So if you've been following me so far and you have not done these things, I'm going to ask you to do a hard thing. I'm going to ask you to stop this video right now and use the time that you have to do one of those four things, to either plan out how you're going to make those purchases of your tools, or plan out how you're going to create time to figure out your purpose. Or even if you're on the way to work right now, take this time to think on, hey, what is my purpose? Or take this time to figure out what things I'm passionate about. The video will be here. You can get back to it, okay? All right, for those that are sticking here with me, let's move forward. So again, I posted last night about why I take cold showers. I know some of you are on this morning and trying to figure out, based on what you already know about cold showers, why in the world is Norman Hartman taking cold showers, okay? I'm going to get to that in about 2 minutes. Just bear with me, okay? So about 3 years ago, on the internet, I came across this gentleman by the name of Tai Lopez. Some of you may know his name. Some of you may see him in between your favorite videos on YouTube as you're surfing, and you're mandated to watch these commercials, right? Those sometimes commercials can be annoying. But I remember 3 years ago, I was studying for my MBA. I was going through that process. And I was on YouTube searching for some information, searching for some videos, and I came across Tai Lopez. And those of you that know me personally know that I'm a Christian, so I have my personal relationship with God. And along with that, God was just really urging me to go out and make a purchase, really go out and urging me to follow this guy. And so at that time, Tai Lopez was talking about his 67 steps to success. Okay, 67 steps. That's a lot of steps. And so even for me, someone who's methodical, who's kind of into the details, that was a bit much, right? And so I was intrigued by that. I wanted to know what was different about his 67 step program that couldn't be done in 30 days, right? 30 days to form a new habit. There are all these different studies out there. And so as I got into it, I found out that according to his studies, it was like a catch-all, or the studies of other people, that 67 steps is kind of the max to forming a new, or 67 days is kind of the max of forming a new habit and for it to stick, right? And so I went through that program, and here's one of the things that I learned. So taking the cold shower is not something that I can take credit for, but it is something that I can share my experience on, okay? So in one of the lessons, or in one of the series, Tai talks about a village of Indians, or tribes of Indians that before they went into battle, before they went on a large hunt, one of the things that they would do is try to do things to provoke bravery, or try to do things to provoke courage. And one of those things that they did was they would go into freezing cold water, right? They would go into freezing cold water to kind of shock themselves to have courage, to have bravery before going into war, to maybe take in two hands a spear and go against a large wild animal, or going against another tribe. And so in this, Tai talks about his version of creating, or kind of stimulating courage and kind of stimulating bravery. And you may have already guessed it by this time. One of the things that Tai does is he takes cold showers in the morning. And this isn't something that has to be done every day, but it's definitely helpful. And in my own experience, I found it to be helpful. And how is that? I find that as I take those cold showers, that it forces me out of my comfort zone. It forces me into a place of discomfort. It forces me to think on something else while I'm enduring something that I don't really enjoy, right? Such as life. In life, there are things that on the way to our purpose that we're not going to enjoy. Even as you find your passion, there are still going to be elements. There are still going to be things that you don't appreciate, that you don't enjoy, or that you don't tap dance while doing. But those things are critically important. They have to be done, right? So what we have to do is to develop a mental fortitude to be able to endure the things that we really don't enjoy doing, so that it does not sabotage our purpose, so this does not sabotage the goals that you've set in motion. Okay? How has this helped me personally? I find that this helps me in my profession. It helps me to be courageous, to do things that maybe other people wouldn't do. And when I'm talking in my profession and telling people what I do and how I can help them, I don't stop at the first no. So perhaps maybe 2 or 3 years ago, when I got that first objection, those that are in the world of sales or in the world of retail, you understand what I'm talking about. When I got that first objection, I may say, okay, well, let me move on. Let me not say anything. Let me just keep my mouth shut and just do my job, right? Not the case anymore, because you have to understand that there's something behind that objection. There's something more. So it inspired me to be courageous. It inspired me to look beyond. It inspired me to look in new places that I hadn't looked before. It inspired me to look for non-traditional methods, non-traditional ways, non-conventional ways of making things happen, and finding new explorations, right? It also helped me to step out and to form new habits. One of the things, and go out, in terms of networking is very important, but for some people it can be very frightening. It encourages me to step outside of my comfort zone and to do some things, right? That's the point. So I'm coming to the end of my video for this morning, but I want to inspire you, and I want to encourage you to be courageous, to take action, to do something different than you've done before. Now for you may be, the cold shower may not be your element. It may not be your deal, right? For those of you that want to try it, sure, at your own risk, please do. Tai Lopez talks about, he kind of describes what he does when he takes that cold shower, and he says he kind of screams out the word courage. But I have a wife and 2 small children at home, sleep, so I can't do that. So I just clench my fist and I kind of, beat the air. But I think it in my head. Think that same phrase, that same term, courage. So that at the onset of my day, I'm thinking about being courageous. Okay? Thinking about being courageous. Good morning to everyone that's kind of gotten on and said it. Good morning. I apologize if I'm not greeting you individually, but I'm just trying to be safe this morning. But it inspires me at the beginning of my day to be courageous. So I want to inspire you. Here's your challenge. Right now, think of an activity, think of an action that you can do, that whether you do it once a day, whether you do it once a week, I wouldn't go beyond once a week. Whether you do it once a day or once a week, that it inspires you to take action, to be courageous, to go to your manager and ask for an opportunity to lead the next morning huddle, or when you're asked for given the opportunity to stand up and speak before a large audience, that you get up and do it. When you have an opportunity to share your business plan or to share your business idea with someone that can be a client or someone that can be a customer, when you have the opportunity to do anything that pushes you outside of your comfort zone, I want you to do it. I want you to be courageous, okay? So, that's it for this morning. So, those of you that purchase your tools, that have your journal, that have your planner, I want you to have them with you next week. I've got some great things, some great tools, some great tips that I've learned that I'm really excited to share with you. So hopefully those things will be beneficial for you as well. So guys, thank you so much for listening, and have a great Monday. Take care.